Welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Tanealia. In today's video, we are going to be doing a try-on of the makeup products that I picked up in my ShopMissA haul. Almost everything here is ShopMissA. I pulled in some products that I already had from ShopMissA already existing. I don't have a full face of ShopMissA, so I did have to pull in some products from other brands as well, but most of this is going to be ShopMissA, and we're going to be starting out with a new primer that I picked up. This one is from AOA Studios. Most of the products are from AOA Studios. AOA Studios is the ShopMissA in-house brand, so this is their actual personal brand. Most products are between $1 and $5. The primer and the CC cream that I'm going to be using today, both of these were $1. This is the Pore Filling Primer. Creates smooth, even skin for makeup. The other one, the No Pore Primer, that one is one of my favorites. It's one of my tried and trues. I love that one. Most of the primers that I have tried from ShopMissA, I have enjoyed. There have been a couple that didn't really do what I needed them to do, but I'm hoping that this will be a good one. So did any of you guys take advantage of the ShopMissA $1 shipping? I always look forward to that. So, and every time that they do the $1 shipping, I always buy like a lot of products. Sometimes I'll stock up on things that I enjoy and want to have more of and backups in. The primer looks nice. I don't smell a fragrance or anything. It does have that, kind of traditional, almost silicone-y feel that a lot of pore filling primers tend to have. But it feels nice. It feels good on the skin. I don't know if I'm seeing a lot of my pores actually being filled in or not. The other primer, that No Pore one, that one is absolutely amazing where pore filling is concerned. Moving into the CC cream, I have tried both the tinted moisturizer and the BB creams, and I love both formulas, so I was kind of excited to see a CC cream. This is newer to their collection. They haven't done one of these before. This shade is in tan, I believe. Unfortunately, there were only 5 shades, which is one of the problems that you can come across when it comes to, foundations, complexion products from ShopMissA, is they don't have a huge range. The shade above this one was medium, and that one was just way too light. So I'm hoping that this one will work. The tinted moisturizer and the BB cream, I tend to get in soft tan, and they always work perfectly for my skin tone. This one, I believe, just said tan. Looks like it might be kind of light. You never know. Once I blend it all in, it might work perfectly. Now that I think about it, I think this actually is that medium shade and not the actual tan shade, because the tan shade was deep. And if you guys have been following me and watching any of my makeup try-ons, I have not been having the best luck with picking foundation shades. I've been having an issue with my foundation shades being way too deep, and so I knew that particular shade would be too dark, so I didn't want to go there. So yeah, this is the medium. Right off the bat, there's definitely not much coverage, which I'm not surprised about because it is a CC cream and not like a full coverage foundation. But both the tinted moisturizer and the BB cream, they had a little bit more coverage than this. And usually a CC cream has more coverage than a BB cream. Let's see if I can build up a little bit more on my cheeks and my nose area. Overall, the finish is looking like okay. I'm not like super impressed with what I'm seeing so far. I have noticed lately that with the new complexion products that ShopMissA has come out, their AOA Studio line, they haven't been as good as the products that were in the existing line. AOA Studio also has these foundation drops that are absolutely freaking beautiful. I haven't picked them back up again because I have so many foundations already that I'm trying to use. But if you do see the little foundation drops, they are absolutely amazing, and those are only $1. First impressions, it does look pretty decent. I do have kind of a natural finish to the skin, and it's definitely not like a heavy full coverage by any means. You can see my natural skin kind of peeking through. My skin does look more even. It's just not like a whole lot of coverage going on. I don't have a new concealer or one even from ShopMissA other than like the one in the tub that I don't really want to use right now. I'm kind of wanting a little bit of a lighter finish to my skin. So I'm going to use my e.l.f. Camo concealer. This one is the Hydrating. It is in medium sand. This is one of my absolute favorites. I'm going to go ahead and conceal with this real quick. I do have from AOA Studio the new Banana Puff and Set loose powder, but as I mentioned in my last Shop My Stash video, not really been enjoying this formula as an overall setting powder. The original formula that had the black lid was absolutely amazing. These look a little more chalky, a little more cakey on the skin used as an overall setting powder, but I have been enjoying them as an under eye setting powder. So what I've been doing is I take my sponge, I dip into the powder, then I press the excess on the back of my hand so I'm getting just a little bit right on the sponge, and then I take it and I press right underneath the eyes. And it has really been doing a job of setting and like giving kind of a nice blurred look under the eyes, and it's also been brightening. I have all three shades that they launched, translucent, banana, and brightening, and all three look exactly the same when set all over my skin. So I decided that I'm just going to use those as brightening powders. To set my face all over, I'm just going to use my Wet n Wild Photofocus powder in banana. I am noticing that my lips are feeling a little bit dry, so I'm going to take my Jellijam lip mask. This is also from AOA Studios. This one is in honey. They have two more, I think peach and strawberry. But this is a really, really nice, soft, hydrating lip mask. I keep one next to my bed that I put on overnight if I remember, and I also keep one in my car. Just something to add a little bit more hydration while we finish off the rest of our makeup. For brows, I picked up one of their new dual brow definer pencils. On one end, they have one of those thicker kind of an angled teardrop point, and then on the other end, it's of a slim brow. This is the actual type of pencil that I really like, although I'm not against the little teardrop one, but I'm going to focus on the slim point, and this shade is in dark brown. I think they had 4 different shades, if I'm remembering correctly. The original brow formula from AOA Studio has been one of my favorites. I've kept that one in my backups. I think I have one more in my backups, and then I'll be out of that one. This one is a little bit warmer than that other shade. The other pencil is also in dark brown, but that one is more kind of a deeper, more kind of a neutrally, what's the word I'm looking for? Smokier kind of. That probably does not make any sense at all, but not as warm as this one. It's going on pretty smooth. That slim point filling in very nicely. Other than the fact that it's a little bit warmer than what I normally like to go for. I consider this to be more of a medium brown rather than a dark brown, but it is going on smooth. It's the formula itself I am liking. I do not have a bronzer from ShopMissA, so I'm just going to go into this one from Wet n Wild. This is a Color Icon bronzer in What Shady Beaches. This is one of my favorites. My skin is looking a little one note right now, so I do want to add a little bit of color. I like to take the bronzer kind of around my nose as well, kind of like in that area that the sun would naturally hit you. For blush, I'm going to be using one of my Plush blushes. This is from AOA Studios. The shade is in Cumulus. These are so pretty. They come in these little nail polish-like containers. I have 4 different shades. I bought the entire set of all 4 when they first launched. And what you do is you just take some drops and go across your cheek. I like to use the F13 brush, and I just tap over it very lightly. This particular formula is just so natural looking. Like it blends right on out. It doesn't set down right away, so you can build it up if you need to. I like formulas like that. Like I have oily skin, so of course I want the formula to set down for the day. But I like the fact that this one takes a little bit longer so that you can have time to work with it. The Tinted Moisturizer liquid blush that I think was from Laura Mercier. Oh my lord, Laura Geller, not Laura Mercier, Laura Geller. That one set down so quickly there was like no time to work with it at all, and I just ended up with like streaks on my face. This one only costs $1, and as you can see, it just blends out beautifully and it lasts all day. I'm going to go into my Glow Baby liquid highlighter from AOA Studio. This shade is in Golden Rose. It's so pretty. They do have a set that's like 5 of them, and they're like all 5 shades. This is the only shade that I currently have. I like the fact that it comes in this smaller packaging. unlike blush and like other types of complexion products, you know, highlighter is not one of those things, and unless you mix it into your foundation, you're going to like use a lot of. Usually when it comes to a liquid highlighter, all we're doing is just applying a little bit, you know, onto those areas, you know, that we want highlighted, and so it's not very much. And I like the fact that with these smaller tubes, it's not going to be wasteful. You're not going to be like wasting a ton of product, which is nice. To set everything down, I'm going to use my Relove from Revolution Power Fix Mist. I do not have anything from ShopMissA currently to use as far as a setting spray. I should have picked something up in the last haul, but I didn't think about it until like after the fact. The eyeshadow palette that I pulled today, this is one of the ones that I recently picked up from ShopMissA. This is one of the Yumi's debut palettes. This one is in Eye Smiles. Yumi is just so freaking cute. She's so just absolutely adorable. And there are 4 palettes in this collection. Not the most, you know, revolutionary color stories, but I think they're really pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my eyelids real quick with this soft base eyeshadow primer in Nude. This is something that's new to my collection. I did pick up in that most recent haul. It does have a tint, so let's see how bright this is. I'm going to take my makeup wipe here to get the excess off because I did put on put on a lot here. This was the only shade that they had. I will say that if you're going to have something that has a tint to it and you're going to say that it's a nude base, I feel like you should have multiple shades because this one shade is not going to match everybody. My skin tone is on kind of like that medium tan, and as you can see, yeah, it's a little light on me. If your skin is on that fair to medium, the shade's going to work well for you, but if you have deeper skin tones, this is not going to work so well. It's probably going to be way too light. Let's see how the shadow performs over it. I'm going to take this shade right here and just kind of dust that all over the lid. I'm going to use my fluffy blending brush for that. Just kind of set everything down. You know, it's funny, in person, the eyeshadow primer is looking more like it matches my skin tone, but on camera it's looking a lot lighter. This might work really well if you're using like a pastel shadow or something like that. The shadow blended beautifully over the top, didn't tug or pull. I'm going to go into this peachier shade down here and put that in the crease. I just want like a soft peachy look today. I'm not trying to like do anything just, you know, dramatic. We're going to drop off some bags at Target, and then I need to go pick up a package at my parents' house. That's pretty much it. It's the only plans I have for the day. And of course, the focus of this video is the new products that I brought in, not necessarily products that I already had existing. Now I'm going to go into the deepest shade, and it's going to go on the outer corner. I will say that the shadow is blending nicely over the eyeshadow primer. You know, sometimes the primer dries down, and then the shadow just will not move very well over it. But this one is kind of nice. The shadows are blending really beautifully over it, as you guys can see. Very smooth. We'll see how long it extends the wear of my eyeshadow. If I can remember, I'll leave a pinned comment down below. I tell you guys, I have the most difficult time remembering to leave pinned comments. This is such a pretty, just kind of basic spring palette. I love it. I think for the shimmers, I just want to focus on these two. This one is a really pretty sparkly peach. I'm going to go into that with my Joa brush here. It's just a flat shader brush. I'm just going to lay this all over the lid, just nice and sparkly. Pretty shade. I'm going to take my finger and just kind of press that down all over the lid. And I'm going to take this little tiny small brush and we're going to go into here. And this light, really light kind of sparkly shade. This one has kind of an iridescent shift. I'll tell you one thing, consider the fact that these palettes are only $1. I mean, look at that. You can kind of see that shift right there. They're absolutely beautiful. The next new item that I picked up in this haul is this liner. This is just the AOA Studio waterproof liquid eyeliner. The one in the black tube, the Artista liner, that has been a favorite for years. So hoping this one can live up to that one. I do like this brush. This one feels like more of a brush tip than the other one, even though it is a felt tip. As you can see, it does go on smooth. So we're going to see how well this works. So I'm going to take the liner and I'm going to go with the lash base here. Let's see if it goes over very smooth or not. It's not the smoothest application, but it is nice and black. I will say right away that the Artista liner definitely goes on a lot smoother, and it's not as draggy as this formula seems to be. Okay, it's pretty. I mean, it went on smooth, black, but it did not go on as glidey as the Artista liner. That one is still the winner as far as these two liners is concerned, but I'm gonna do the other eye off camera, and then I'm gonna throw on my 3D Faux Mink lashes from AOA Studios. These are in Sadie. I have both the clear and the dark strip lash adhesive. I'm going to use the dark one today, and then when we come back, we're just going to throw on lips, and that'll be into the video. As far as lips, once again, I do not have a new product, but I'm going to put on from AOA Studio. This is the Wonder Lip Liner in Famous. It's a really, really pretty burnt orange. And then my overall lip color is going to be one of the Wonder Matte lipsticks. This is one of the newer formulas. I am not sure what the shade is, but this is what we're going to be applying for our lips. First, I'm going to take off this lip mask. The liquid lipstick and liner just apply better when my lips are just clean. But the lip mask has helped to give me a smoother base for applying these lip products. That is going to be it for this video. Let's talk real quick about some of the products that I used today that were newer. Which ones worked, which ones didn't. The complexion products. I do like the way that the pore filling primer felt on the skin. I don't really feel like it did much pore filling, but it did feel nice, and overall my skin texture was a little bit smoother. The CC cream, I liked the tinted moisturizer and the BB cream more than this, but overall, as you can see, it does look nice. My natural skin is shining through. It did leave a nice skin-like finish. So I did like this one, and the shade, I'm not exactly sure what shade I got. I'm pretty sure this was like that medium shade, and it actually looks pretty good, so I have no complaints about that. The soft base eyeshadow primer, I like this as well. The only issue that I would say I have with it is that it's called a nude base, and I feel like if you're going to call it nude, then you should have different shades for different skin tones. This one, as you can see, did ultimately work for me, but if you're someone that's deeper than like a light, medium to light tan, this is not going to work. It's going to be way too light. So I would like to see them launch more shades of this so that you have more options depending on what your natural skin tone is. And then the last things that were new today were the liner and the brow pencil. I really do like the brow pencil as far as the formula and the way that it applied. It's a little bit warmer in tone than I would like, but overall, as you can see, it looks good. As far as the eyeliner, black, it does look good. It's set down matte. We'll see how long it wears throughout the day, but as far as application, I really like the Artista liner more. This to me, as far as like the latest products, the newer ones that AOA Studio has been launching, it's a good example of brands launching new products, right, that nobody asked for, while discontinuing existing products that were fantastic and were well loved and that people didn't really have an issue with. You know, I've never understood launching new products that just are not as good and getting rid of the amazing products. That's just something that I've never understood. I almost forgot to mention in my waterline, I'm just using my ColourPop liner in Exit. This is one of my favorite liners just for brightening up the waterline. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help with the channel. If you're new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my little family and hitting subscribe, and make sure you tap the bell so you do not miss a thing. You can also follow me on my other socials. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.